Greetings with love and light. Today, I want to discuss an important thing through a parable. We know that Jesus shared his teachings through parables because parable is the best way to ex understand and explain any concept in a way that everyone can follow. So it's the best way to convey anything. I want to convey an important thing through a beach parable. So let's take this parable. Let's consider on one fine summer day, a bunch of kids. Uh, they wanted to play in a beach, so they went to beach. Okay, so this is the scenario, beach parable. So let's consider this. So after they went to beach, some of the kids, most of the kids, they wanted to build sand castles. Okay, they brought all the equipments to build and they started to build sand castles. They wanted to spend their time on building different sand castles. And some of the kids, they played, and some of the kids played in the ocean water, and then they did it like sometimes they played, sometimes they will build sand castle like that. Okay, so like that they spend more time on different activities. So let's focus on the group of kids who spend most of their time on building sand castles. So if you consider that scenario, the kids who spend more time on building their sand castles, they were really very attached to what they built. They were really possessive about what they built, and they were kind of in a very protective mode. Didn't let anyone to touch their sand castle. They spend their most of their efforts in building it, making it bigger, decorating it, and then protecting it. Okay, so this is where most of their focus was. And at the end of the day, when they needed to wind up and then when they needed to go back home, what they could do, the maximum thing they could do is taking a picture with that sandcastle, right? They cannot take the sandcastle with that. So some kids, what they did, they just left it as it is. Okay, and some kids, they just jumped on what they built and destroyed it themselves because they knew that it is not going to be that. The next day, eventually, someone will destroy it or it will get destroyed with wind, ocean, water. So they just destroyed it themselves. Okay. So this is a scenario that I want to discuss. Let's try to fit this scenario with life. Here, the beach trip is our life journey to this planet Earth. Okay, and the sand castle is all materialistic stuff that we earn or we spend most of our energy and time on building or earning these properties, name, fame, all these things, all the materialistic thing that we are focusing on to earn is the sand castle. And playing and having fun is like our other entertainment. We are experiencing this life, enjoying this life. Okay, and end of the day they need to wind up. So that is like we need to when the time comes, we have to go back home where we come from, where our soul resides, the spiritual realm. So when the time comes, we have to leave this body and then we have to go back home, right? Okay, so this is where I want to fit this scenario. Okay, so this is perfect match. So let's try to fit this and let's see what is the takeaway point. Okay, so the takeaway point here is the kids, they were not able to take the sandcastle with them like that. We cannot take or we cannot take anything materialistic that we built here. We cannot take it with us. Okay, the maximum thing they were able to take with them, the kids were able to take with them is the memory. Okay, good memory, either good or bad. The memory that they have built. In the beach or building sandcastle. That is the maximum thing they can take. The memory. In addition to that, um, The memory could be either good memory or bad memory, right? If they have fought for that, if they have did a lot of fighting in protecting it and protecting the boundaries, expanding the boundaries, then bad memory. But anyway, so memory is the only thing that they could take. And in addition to that, if they have used that opportunity to help others in building their sandcastle or helping in any other way, they could have taken that bonding, a friendship or love. Okay, that is possible. That they can just take it with them and they can continue, right? So these are the things that they could take, and anything materialistic they could not take. Okay, so it is also a perfect scenario if you consider the life journey. They say that at the end time will be shown a picture, full movie with the things from the starting to the end, whatever what we experienced, all those things will be uh, we will see that as a movie. Okay, but not in our perspective. When we are here in this body, like we will see ego is the primary thing because of the duality. It will be more of ego perspective, but at the end, that will be shown in 360-degree perspective. It is not how we experience it, how we handle it, but how others perceived it in a ego view perspective, in a general perspective that will be shown. It's not only how we right now we always feel how we feel, how we think, how it was to us, but at that time it will be shown like how it was to others. Okay, so let's take that movie scenario. It's a real thing actually. Many people say that it is real, that will be shown a full review movie. Okay, so that movie is like a taking a picture. Okay, so that is the thing. Like we can just collectively take those moments. Okay, okay. So here, if we take this scenario, the time, more time and efforts that we spend here is like actually on materialistic stuff, and we cannot deny it. Yeah, we have to survive, we need to live, we need money for that. Yeah, so we have to build something. We need that materialistic property to live here. Agree, but we can't when the time comes, we can't take what we build. It doesn't matter how much efforts that we have spent, it doesn't matter how hard we have worked, we cannot take any of that materialistic stuff with us. So what we can take is good karma, okay, learnings through that life experience or experience. Okay, in any life experience, whether good or bad life experience. If it is a bad experience, then what we learn through that life experience, that is the only take, the things that we can take with us. Okay, like you can just put the scenario with the sandcastle beach scenario. That is the only thing that we can take. Doesn't matter how much money is there in our account, whether you have millions of dollars in your account or um, it doesn't matter. What we have to just leave it as it is and back up, right? So, but from that millions of dollars, if you have spent $1,000 to someone that was helpful to save someone's life or helpful for them in any way. Okay, if you have spent some $1,000, that would be ours because that will be in a fixed deposit. Okay, the other amount it won't be like it is like credit. We earned it and then we have to spend it when we go. But this one we have spent for others, it is our own. It is the actual deposit. Okay, so so I'm not coming to say that we have to spend all our time, efforts, and money to others. What I'm trying to convey is we have to have this bigger picture, okay, this bigger perspective, and we have to focus on what really matters at the end of the day. At the end of the day, what matters, we have to focus on that too, okay, rather than spending all of our efforts on materialistic stuff. So in a day, how much effort and time we spend for us. It could be us, our family, and then it could be like our health, even that. Anyway, we have to take care of our health. It also matters. But if we could spend some time in a day, if you could do a single thing that is helpful for others, it doesn't need to be money. It can be anything. For example, it could be a simple thank you, a gratitude that made someone happy, or it could be some appreciation for someone's effort that made them happy. That small happiness that you created that way, or it could be a prayer for someone uh, with who's dealing with something. If you could say a prayer, even that counts. It doesn't need to be money. Even it can be if you're a doctor in a general perspective, you could share a real advice uh, for the patient who like who can improve their life. A real advice. It could be anything um, that is related to their health, which is really helpful, that really matters. Or if you're a teacher, if you rather than on in addition to their teaching responsibility, if you can take one step further and invest on your students' growth, future, career. It can be just 5 or 10 minutes of advice or help. Okay, all these things counts, or it can be advice. Okay, so advice that is needed. Okay, not a voluntary advice, and advice that is needed. Okay, so all those things matters. But if you could do, even if you're like, if you cannot afford any of these things, if you can feed animals, because when you feed animals, it is not like you're feeding to that animal, you're feeding to that the God who is experiencing a life, God energy who is experiencing life through that animal. Okay, you have to put it in that perspective. So all these things matters. These small things count. Okay, so this is the thing that you put in your fixed deposit. Okay, so so enjoy your time. Like the kids, they have to anyway, they went to beach, they have to enjoy their time on the beach, right? Like that. We are here to experience life, enjoy the life. So I have to live your life in the same time. Don't forget the reason why we are here. Okay, so focus on what really matters to your soul. Okay, we are here to experience the life and also to graduate, to increase our vibration, right? So focus on that as well. So sometimes we may think like, okay, these things, when we don't have any problem in our life, then we can focus on this stuff, but it doesn't work in that way. Cannot promise that you will not have any problem if you see life through this perspective, cannot say that. But when we deal life in this perspective, like understanding what really matters and what really doesn't matter. Okay, so when we take things in that perspective slowly, we will try to understand the real perspective of life. We will have a real understanding of life. If we see a problem, we will not see that as a problem. We will see that as a learning opportunity. Okay, so that will help us to increase our vibration. So it will fit anything is that goes by the law, according to the universal law. What you share, what you give, you will receive 10 times of that, right? If you share more love, more kindness, more empathy, you will get more kindness from the universe, but in bigger weightage, right? So when eventually it will increase the vibration of us. According to that vibration, you will start to attract things in the sense more love, more kindness, and things will fall in your way eventually. Okay, um, that will, when things fall in your way, then that will solve problem eventually. So it will not happen over the night, but if you take one step per time, one thing, at least once a time. We will get indulged in life with all our activities. But if you try to remember this beach parable at least once a time, one time, if you can invest your time and efforts on the things what really matters, okay, then eventually uh, things will change. Okay, things will fall in your way, and that will change, eventually change the life experience. Okay, so it is good for both spiritual life and also materialistic life. Okay, so thank you for listening to this. I hope this beach parable was helpful for you to gain a different perspective about life. Thank you.